Hello everyone, and peace of Christ to all of you. Today our story is very important and it's very fishy. When I say fishy, I mean it's hard to explain to you. Have you ever been in the desert and you are without water? Have you? Like, for some reason, you went to the desert and your car broke and you are in the middle of nowhere. And then you are waiting for water to come. How hard it is to be that person. But what makes it harder, if you are an ant and you are dying because of thirst and you are sleeping or laying down in your back like this guy. The difference is the story speaks about ant. Imagine yourself an ant who was in the desert and you could not find any water. And now it is time to pray for Allah. So you lay down in your back, your legs is up to heaven, your hand is wide open for Allah, and you pray Allah will send somebody. Let us read the following story. Allah Messenger said, Sulaiman, which is the Arabic word of Solomon supposedly, peace be upon him, went to pray for rain. So you notice here that even Sulaiman is thirsty too. There is no rain. And he saw an ant laying on its back, raising up its legs. We go back to the pictures here just to show you how perfect this picture is. It's exactly what was happening. Let us go back on time all together, thousands of years ago. Sulaiman, he is going out to pray for rain, and then he noticed in the floor in the desert an ant, and her legs is up and her arms is up to the sky. How touchy. I mean, it's very obvious. You go in the desert and you are thirsty too, and what do you see? You notice right away there's an ant between all the sand and her hands is up to the sky. But the story did not stop here. The story gets more complicated when the ants start talking. What the ant, she said. Allah Messenger, his name Muhammad, said, and Muhammad, he is all-knowing as Allah, because Muhammad was not in the time of Solomon. However, he know all the stories. So he saw an ant laying on its back, and notice it's on its back because it's dying. Hello? You see, it's not laying in her face. It's not laying in her side, like maybe taking a nap. No, she is laying in her back and raising its legs. Notice here, ants don't do that unless they are thirsty, brother. To the sky saying, and look, the ant is saying something. Oh Allah, who is saying that? The ant. Oh Allah, we are creatures among your creature, and we cannot live without your water. Isn't it this is a touchy story? So let us make it simple for you, because some of you, they might be laughing and not understanding how serious the situation. Prophet Solomon, he went out to pray, praying for rain, and there's no rain. Going in the desert, under the tough sun, people are suffering because there's no rain. And then he saw an ant, and something unique about her. She's not taking a tan because of a bikini. She's not sleeping in her side. She was laying in her back. Commercial break. If you are an ant and you are thirsty, we advise you to drink ant drink, which is the best made in America. It's an American drink, give you extra energy so you can bite more people. End of commercial. And then he looked at the ant, and the ant looking at the sky. He looked at the ant again. He could not believe what he saw. Her legs is up. Her legs, my brothers and sisters, is up. Ants don't do that unless they are praying to Allah. And then he listened to the ant, and he heard the ant saying, "Oh Allah." And the voice of the ant was very shaky because she was very thirsty. If you are thirsty and you like to drink something up and you are an ant, we have a solution for you. We have 7 ant made for up. You can get it from Home Depot. It says, "Drink me now, die later." Try it, and don't forget it. End of commercial. When Solomon, he heard the ant praying to Allah, asking for rain, he could not resist. He could not resist to have mercy. So he called the department, the fire department, to bring all the water they have so the ant can drink. The end of the story. How beautiful. How touching. I know many of you feel so sad for that ant. Put yourself in her shoes, even they don't wear shoes. And imagine yourself laying in your back and Suleiman is coming and you are thirsty. And what is embarrassing too, that the ant, she is not wearing clothing, which means Suleiman, he saw her naked, which make it more horrible. Now she is lying in her back and she's a female. And you know Solomon, the prophet of Islam, all prophet of Islam, they will not let anything go. So the story here is saying that when he went out and he went out to pray for rain, he saw an ant laying on its back, raising its legs to the sky, saying, "Oh Allah, oh Allah, we are creatures among your creatures. We cannot live without your water," he said to his companions. Go back, for you have been given water through the supplication of others. Look at the wisdom. Why Suleiman he have water? Because of the prayer of the ants. Why we have rain? Because the ants are praying to Allah. You can imagine how many ants around the world, they lay in their back and their legs is up to Allah and they are saying, "Oh Allah, we are creatures from your creatures. We need your water." So Suleiman, because he's so wise, he understood immediately that the reason he have water is because of an ant or ant like this, who pray to Allah, and Allah listened to them. Sometimes I feel like Muhammad is like a Buddha guy. You know, like the Buddha. They have stories about ants, you know, like the guy, he was going between the mountains and he saw a line of ants, so he went all the way back because he didn't want to step on the ants. But this is the guy, Muhammad, who killed tens of thousands, who raped tens of thousands, and now suddenly, I mean, what else the story is about? Even the ants is praying to Allah and asking Allah for rain. And Suleiman, he did not pray to Allah anymore. It looked like Allah, he sent rain because of ants praying, not because the Jews were praying. That's what the story is saying. Read it carefully. So he went out to pray for the rain. The purpose of him getting out is to pray for the rain. And he saw an ant laying on its back, raising its legs. I always wonder why ants do that. I never thought about it. I thought maybe it's a sexual thing. You know, maybe they are like, I don't know. I thought for some time maybe they are taking a tan in the sun. But I never thought about it this way, because I don't speak the languages of the ants. And the sky and saying, and all of us, we knew that all creatures, they communicate true, but ants don't talk. You see, we can say they talk by communicating, like they communicate by chemical and vibration. But the Quran and the Hadith saying clearly that she made a speech. She is saying things, which is totally false, because ants cannot talk. They communicate, yes, as all creatures. They have their own communicating system. Ants communicate by two things only, no third. They are deaf, actually. Ants are deaf. Totally deaf. Idiot. So, when somebody say to us such a story, we need to ask ourselves, are those stories which Muhammad he said can be considered anything, right? Anyone can believe in those garbage? I see somebody, he posted my books for free, including Deception of Allah. My friend, this is not legal. You cannot post a book for free, the one in English. Oh, this is not in English. Okay, so, okay. I thought it's the one in English. All right. Be careful, you know, because you can have a problem, legal problem. There's a person, actually he was from Morocco, he was selling my book, and he is in big trouble for doing that. So, you know, when the Muslim, they say such a thing, and when the Muslim, they listen to their prophet saying such a thing, how many of you Muslims accept such a thing? How many of you Muslims believe in such a story? And if you don't believe in it, aren't you going to say Muhammad is a liar? Remember, it says here, the story doesn't, you know, like you cannot say it's weak, it says, etc. It says it clearly, reported by Ahmad and Al-Hakim, and graded as Sahih, authentic. Where we can find the story of the ant, here we go. This is the link. So from now on, if you go in the street and you see an ant, or Yasser Qadi, tell Yasser Qadi, brother, Is it true, brother, that you live in USA, brother, and you believe that ant was praying to Allah, and the reason we have rain, brother, in USA, because ants are praying in Arizona? Where is the Muslim brain? Do you have any? How in the world any of you accept such a madness, such a stupidity? How you believe that a man, he claimed to be a prophet, he says such a thing? Where is your brain? This is why we have water, because rain, because ants lay down in their back and they pray for Allah. And notice here that Solomon, he stopped his mission to pray. He didn't want to pray no more. He went out to pray. But then when he heard the ant speaking, which is extremely stupid to say because ants don't talk. And the Quran says that Allah, he taught Solomon the language of birds. The language of what? Birds. Yet Mr. Solomon, he speaks the language of ants. Obviously, Muhammad, he considered ant as a bird, because the Quran is clear, saying that he taught him the language of birds. How the language of birds became such a thing? If you go to the Quran, chapter 27, verse number 18, you will see other story about Solomon. When he was going out with his army, he heard one ant saying, "Hide, otherwise Solomon is going to destroy you." Here the Muslim, they say this is a scientific miracle, because it says namla, a female namla. According to the science, the one who alarm is a female. You idiot! In Arabic, we call all individual naml or ants, we call them namla. We call the one is female and we call the one is male namla. I mean, do you see how stupid they are? It's a word, it's a female word, but it's not a female gender. Like in English, in Arabic, we have female words, but it does not have a gender. We don't mean gender. So when we say namla, we say nahla, all of them, they are insect. We add T, female. It's an insult, actually. So the Muslim here, they say it is a scientific miracle, which is stupid, and we got busted in 2 seconds. But the funny here, you will see that the ant, she knew the King Solomon name, because the ant, she said, "O ye ants, get into your habitation, lest Solomon and his host crush you." What is amazing, how the ant was able to find out the name of Solomon. You see, it's okay. An ant, she saw a lot of a human being coming from far away, and she alarmed the ants. We have alarm, we. But how she knew the name of the king? She said, "Solomon." Do you think when I go outside in my yard, the ant, they say to the ant, "Hold, hide, CP is coming"? Do you see what the ants can do? They knew your name. I'm assuming that Solomon at that time, he used to have a tag because he used to work for USA government. Like when you join the army, they put your last name there, or your first name, or a fake name, as they did to those who joined the Arab ones, like me. You know, they give you a fake name in the army, so nobody will know you if you go in the Middle East. One of the names, I saw an Arab guy, his last name is Gonzalez. Gonzalez. Anyway, so Solomon, we know what are you doing, Solomon. Ants are watching you. And Solomon is watching the ants. And look like Solomon, he have something for ants. Wherever he go, there's a story between Solomon and the ants. Ants praying for Allah, asking for water. Ants hiding from Solomon. Solomon listening to the ants. And you know, I don't know if this is a gift from Allah that Solomon, he can hear the ant, or it's a curse. Because imagine 1 billion ants in one colony talking, and Solomon, he can hear them all. You will go crazy. Just I wanted to share with you an amazing story so you might convert to Islam. And I'm sure many of you will convert to Islam. And for sure, there's no hole in the story, neither in the narrative of Islam. Those stories are very accurate and very authentic and proven by science. The reason there is typhoon or hurricane, because ants are praying too much to Allah, so too much rain come. We need to communicate with the ants and tell them, please don't pray too much. Don't lay on your back and pray for Allah too much, because that will bring a lot of big storms. We need some rain, not a lot of rain. So you better be careful. And what is really funny here, that the ant is laying in her back. I mean, the ant is dying. How touching. Otherwise, the ant, trust me, if she is not dying, she will do evolution, and she will be bowing down. I don't know how ants she can bow down, don't ask me. But because of the special situation, that the ant is dying from thirst, so she slept in her back, and she left her legs up, saying Allah. Like, you know, human, when they pray, they open their hand. Huh? Ant is doing the same. So she slept in her back because she's dying now. And she opened her hand and she asked Allah for water. And Allah is all listening. I don't know about Somalia, man. Tens of thousands of Somalia are dying. Look like nobody understands that they should lay down in their back and pray to Allah. Praying standing as Muslims is not working. If you want Allah to listen to you, lay down in your back as you see in the picture, the same as the ant is doing. If you want to get rich and you go to the beach, you lay down and pray to Allah, put your legs up. People will think you're funny and stupid, but don't worry about them. You are praying to Allah, for obviously this is the actual way or the perfect way to pray to Allah. Now, we would see what the Muslim they will say about this hadith. How many of you think they will say this is weak hadith? They will say that, right? They will say it's weak. They will say it says they're authentic. And I have the link in the screen. It says authentic. And Yasser Qadi, who is supposedly claimed to be a sheikh, who know nothing about Islam, this is the hadith number, and this is your Muslim website. It says, reported by Ahmad al-Hakim, graded it as sahih, authentic. My friends, Prophet Muhammad, the only thing make him a prophet is that he is a storyteller. And his story, sometimes they are good for children under the age of 5. If you are 6 and older, you will not enjoy it because obviously it is stupid. So we are very thankful for Prophet Muhammad and his stories. Otherwise, we will not be enjoying such a moment, laughing at his stupidity. And what make it more embarrassing that people, they believe that this man is a prophet of God. And who told him the story is Allah. Because remember, Muhammad was not exist in the time of Solomon. So who is the one who told him the story? Allah. Allah, he told Muhammad such a story. Allah, he want Muhammad to know and learn wisdom. So Muhammad, he might become Buddha with the big belly. This is Islam. And this is their stupidity. Thank you very much for watching. I said to myself I will keep the video short, and I am going to keep it short. We keep it about the ant. I will make more videos about ants because we have many stories about ants, and I'm sure you enjoy it. If you see somebody moving too much in his chair, say to him, there's an ant in your pant. Quotation of a Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the wise prophet, who know all stories about ants. Ants in Your Pants is a new coming movie. Watch it in theater, January 2021. Take care and say to ants, be aware. Allah is watching you, listening to your prayer. Don't pray too much for rain because He might flood us with it. This is why we have rain. It is the ants. If you are a person who is suffering from typhoon in Indonesia or Philippines or hurricane, speak to the ants. They are behind it. They are praying too much to Allah. Too much prayer can kill you. Be careful. Pray less. Be wise. Ant speaking to you from behind the colony of the ants. Take care. Bye-bye.